In the pulsating, neon-drenched heart of Lagos, Nigeria, where soaring glass towers cast long shadows over sprawling, chaotic markets, lived the fractured but fierce sons of Judah. Not a tribal elder, but a woman named Judith, whose warmth was the only thing that held their mismatched world together. Now, her light was fading. The mother's shadow. Judith lay in the sterile white embrace of St. Anthony's private hospital, her life tethered to a machine. She had spent a lifetime nurturing 3 sons, each by a different man, each carrying a different burden of the city. Her diagnosis was dire, the treatment an astronomical sum that dwarfed their collective savings. The final, crushing blow was the hospital bill, N50,000,000, 50 million naira, an impossible debt. The family met in their cramped, brightly painted flat, the air thick with unspoken fear and old resentment. Jide, the eldest, a former mechanic and current rideshare driver, reliable to a fault, but rigid. He tried to pay with honest work, a well that had run dry. Kelechi, the middle son, a hustler, a charmer, and a petty thief with a network of street contacts. He knew the city's underbelly like the back of his hand, but his impulsiveness was a liability. Toby, the youngest, a brilliant, introverted university student studying computer science. He saw the world in code and algorithms, but his anxiety made him emotionally fragile. I sold the car, Jide said, his voice flat. It's barely N3000,000. We have 10 days before they stop her treatment. Kelechi scoffed, pacing the small room. 10 days. Jide, your honest work will bury her. We need a plan, a big one. Something that moves money. Like what, Kelechi? Stealing from the local mama put. Toby snapped, clutching his one laptop like a shield. No, Kelechi said, a slow, dangerous smile spreading across his face. Like the Temple of Mammon. The Temple of Mammon. The temple was the Phoenix Bank and Trust, a fortress of wealth run by the notorious oligarch, Chief Adelik. It was hosting its annual Gala of the Golden Standard, a night when Nigeria's wealthiest gathered to celebrate their fortunes, and when a legendary, untraceable collection of bonds and high-value promissory notes was kept in its ultra-secure vault for a single night before being distributed. Kelechi's contact, a disgraced former security consultant named Ghost, had provided the intel. The target wasn't the cash, it was the digital transfer mechanism that authorized the movement of the bonds. Jide was horrified. A bank. This is insanity, Kelechi. We are not criminals, we are Judith's sons. We become what we must to save the one who made us, Kelechi shot back. Listen, Toby, you're the brain. You can break their network. I know how to get us inside the catering staff entrance. Jide, you're the anchor. You're steady, you're strong. You drive the escape and keep us focused. Tears welled in Toby's eyes. I can't. I'll mess up. I'm not like you. Toby, Jide said, his voice softening for the first time. He placed a heavy hand on his younger brother's shoulder. Judith always said your smartness was your superpower. Use it for her. We are a tribe now. A tribe called Judah. We do this together. The heist and the heartbreak. The night of the gala was a spectacle of wealth and power. Jide, wearing a borrowed chauffeur's uniform, staked out the bank's rear exit. Kelechi, disguised as a waiter with a charming swagger, navigated the crowded banquet hall, planting Toby's custom-built network tap near the security hub. Toby was tucked away in the back of a refrigerated delivery van, his laptop screen glowing a sickly blue in the darkness. His fingers flew across the keyboard, a symphony of code against the bank's sophisticated firewalls. Toby, 90%. I'm in the mainframe. Looking for the ledger transfer portal. Kelechi, whispering into his earpiece, "Hurry, the security sweep is starting in 10 minutes. I've got eyes on the chief's personal assistant. She's got the final access key card." Kelechi executed a flawless distraction, a spilled tray of champagne, allowing him just enough time to lift the key card. He raced toward the vault's inner security room. But as Toby reached the final authorization sequence, a name flashed on the screen: Judith Agu, patient ledger. The Phoenix Bank and Trust wasn't just wealthy, Chief Adelik was a major investor in St. Anthony's Hospital. Toby realized with sickening clarity that their mother's hospital bill was part of their system. This entire heist wasn't just about stealing money, it was about stealing from the very hands that were supposedly keeping their mother alive. The weight of it crushed him. He froze. "Toby. What's wrong?" Jide's urgent voice crackled in his ear. It's a trap, Jide. We are attacking the people holding her life in their hands. I can't do it. Kelechi burst into the room, key card in hand. He saw Toby's fear. We have to. She is in their hands, and they are choking the life out of her with that bill. We take this, we get her out, and we find a better doctor. Kelechi grabbed the laptop, his hands shaking with desperation. He forced Toby's fingers back onto the keys. Look at me, brother. Tribe. Judah. For Mama. Toby looked at his brothers, one a criminal, the other a chauffeur, both willing to lose everything for one woman. He took a breath, the tears finally falling. He closed his eyes and mashed the final command. Transfer complete. 50 million naira moved. The sunrise and the silence. The escape was a blur of screeching tires, flashing blue lights, and desperate running through Lagos's shadowy back alleys. They made it. They transferred the funds to a hidden account, enough to pay the debt and secure a transfer to a reputable facility abroad. The three brothers sat in the hospital waiting room the next morning, the exhaustion and adrenaline having given way to a chilling calm. The news was on the TV, daring digital heist at Phoenix Bank, but no mention of their mother. A doctor walked in, his face solemn. Jide stood first, Kelechi's bravado evaporated, and Toby leaned against his brother for support. She paid the bill, the doctor said softly. Last night, the full amount was settled. A wave of relief and guilt washed over them. However, the doctor continued, his eyes drifting downward, the money bought us time, but not a miracle. We lost her an hour ago. She went peacefully. The room fell into an echoing silence. The N50,000,000, the audacious risk, the fractured bonds they had mended, it had bought them nothing but a few extra hours with her fading life. Kelechi collapsed into a chair, his face buried in his hands, letting out a raw, guttural cry that shook the foundations of the hospital. Jide, the stoic one, simply walked to the window, his shoulders shaking with silent, heaving sobs. Toby, the youngest and most fragile, walked to the door of his mother's room. He entered and saw her serene face, finally free of pain. He placed his laptop, the instrument of their shared crime and their final, futile sacrifice, at her bedside. He turned to his brothers, standing together now in the doorway, their tears a shared river of grief and love. We saved her from the death, Toby whispered, his voice thick with sorrow. We didn't save her life, but we saved her dignity. And we saved us. The three brothers, a tribe called Judah, embraced, not as men from different fathers, but as the only sons of one extraordinary woman, forever bound by the debt they paid and the life they couldn't save. The heist was over. The family had just begun.